Hi folks, and welcome back to Hypnosis Health Info. If you've looked around here at Hypnosis Health Info at all, read any of my blog posts and watched some of the YouTube videos, you know that I'm very passionate and very adamant about putting an end to childhood obesity. And I was particularly concerned with an article that I read a couple weeks ago on January 23rd of 2013 in Newswise that's titled, "Obesity May Increase Risk of MS in Children and Teens." And it says, being obese may increase the risk of developing multiple sclerosis in children and teenage girls, according to new research published in the January 30th, 2013 online issue of Neurology, the medical journal of the American Academy of Neurology. Over the last 30 years, childhood obesity has tripled. In the study, the risk of pediatric MS was highest among moderately and extremely obese teenage girls, suggesting that the rate of pediatric MS cases is likely to increase as the childhood obesity epidemic continues. The study found that the risk of developing MS was more than 1.5 times higher for overweight girls than girls who were not overweight. Nearly 1.8 times higher in moderately obese girls compared to girls of normal weight, and nearly 4 times higher in extremely obese girls. Now folks, I'm not at all advocating that we go back to what happened to many young girls back in the 50s, 60s, and even in the early 70s, where women come into my office today and they talk about how as young girls they were at a slender, healthy weight, but to look like a Barbie doll, or to look like Twiggy, they were put on diets, they were given diet pills, and went through some pretty extreme regimens to be skinny, to be slender, to look like a Barbie doll, to have that perfect body. And that can be just as unhealthy as being overweight and being obese. But now we swung too far to the other way. And we as grandparents, we as parents, have a duty, we have an obligation, a moral obligation to our kids and actually to our country to put an end to this very preventable disease of childhood obesity and the diseases that result from being obese. We're seeing our young kids today show up with the diseases of heart disease and diabetes that were once thought only occurring in adults. They're happening in our young kids now because of obesity. And if you've read any of my blog posts about childhood obesity, I've said this on numerous occasions, that the generation today is the first generation since the Civil War that has a shorter life expectancy than the previous generation. And that's due to childhood obesity and the diseases that result from being obese. And that to me is just absolutely unconscionable, and there's no excuse, no reason for that. And quite frankly, we simply cannot afford the health care costs that are resulting from obesity, and it's totally preventable. So again, no, we don't want to go back to Twiggy and back to Barbie dolls and the perfect body. But we don't need to be the other way, where kids are sitting around the house, on the couch, watching TV, or on their computer, or on their phone, or playing Game Boy or whatever. We want to get them outside, on the playground, out in the soccer field, or playing lacrosse, or running, or swimming, or riding their bike, being very physically active. We also want to work with our kids at getting them off the fast foods, the processed foods, off all the various sports drinks and artificially flavored drinks and sweetened drinks, getting them to drink water, increasing their level of vegetables, of whole grains, of fruit, and getting them to recognize what healthy eating is, how to appreciate the food, to eat slowly, to eat consciously, to stop eating when their body tells them they have enough fuel in their body. And again, it's our obligation as grandparents and as parents to teach our kids how to do that. Now, one of the great things that you as a family can learn to do together is self-hypnosis. And kids are masters at self-hypnosis, and so it's pretty easy to teach them how to focus their attention and how to give themselves suggestions, so they do have that desire to be more active. So they do have the desire for the vegetables, for the fruits, the whole grains, and can even eliminate desires for the fast foods and the candy bars and the sweetened drinks and the potato chips and all those things. And one of the great things about when they learn to use hypnosis is then that they can apply it to their schoolwork and increase their academic performance. They can apply it to sports and to music and pretty much any other area of their life. And so if you look at the tools and resources here at SlenderForLife.com, at HypnosisHealthInfo.com, and particularly at HypnosisHealthInfo.com, up there in the orange menu bar, you'll see the word self-hypnosis. And there's a description there about what hypnosis is and what it isn't. The first drop-down tab is a light switch technique that teaches you a very quick way that you can take yourself deeply relaxed and bring yourself back up. The next drop-down tab is about written suggestions that tells you how to incorporate suggestions into your self-hypnosis. The next one is Power Minutes, and that drop-down tab has 1 to 4 minute MP3 recordings that you can download onto your phone or your iPad or iPod or whatever you use, or just even on your computer. And they're 1 to 4 minute recordings that you can use with self-hypnosis. And the final drop-down tab under self-hypnosis is hypnotic suggestions. And there's, I don't know, somewhere roughly 1,400 suggestions over the last several years that you're welcome to use word for word or use as ideas to stimulate your own thinking. Now, don't be concerned about what hypnosis is or be afraid of hypnosis. It's not at all about you being out of control or being controlled by me or anyone else. It truly is the ultimate display of control. It's you learning how to take back your power from the processed foods, from the McDonald's, from the ice cream, from the potato chips, from the candy bars. It's about putting you in control of you so that you can truly recognize whether or not you're hungry or stressed. If you're hungry, to make a healthy choice, to eat slowly, to eat consciously, to eat mindfully, to stop eating when your body says enough, no more, and feel totally content and totally satisfied knowing that you don't have to eat all the food on your plate. It truly is okay to throw the rest of the food away rather than, you can waste it in the garbage or you can waste it here. So might as well just throw it away or put it in a Tupperware container and put it in the refrigerator for future meals, or if you're out in a restaurant, get a box and give it to a homeless person on the street. There's lots of options. But you really don't need to eat it. And with self-hypnosis, it becomes very easy to learn how to do that and just pay attention to your body. Now, you're welcome to come to my office here in Bainbridge Island or in the Medical Dental Building, my office over there in downtown Seattle. Once a month I'm out west and along the coast in Forks. But I have clients across the U.S. and around the globe that I see every week via Skype. So no matter where you live, if you're interested in taking control of your thoughts and your emotions or your behavior, learning to eat slowly, to eat consciously, stopping eating when your body says enough, learning to eat healthfully, wanting to be more active, then give me a call at 206-903-1232 or send me an email, roger@hypnosishealthinfo.com, and let me know how to support you. And make sure you look at all the various tools and resources again here at HypnosisHealthInfo.com, at SlenderForLife.com. Be sure to check out the recipes at SlenderForLife.com. There's about 15,000 free recipes there, so take a look at all of those. So if there's any way I can support you, let me know. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.